how to write a proposal. That's what we're going to talk about today. Hi event planners, I'm Chelsea from eventplanning.com. Today we're going to break down a proposal, but before we even get into that, I want to talk about the very first step to booking a client. You need to have a one-on-one conversation. You should schedule an hour with this client. You need to find out all the logistical information that they have and the idea of their event. So what type of event is it? What date are they looking at? Have they secured a venue? What kind of demographic of people are going to attend the event? How many people are going to attend the event? As many questions as you can ask. You also want to get a sense of the creative side of the event. Have they picked a theme or colors? Do they have some kind of idea of what they want for food or for music? You want to get as much information as you can. Take detailed notes during this initial consultation so that you can use it for your proposal. Great, so now we're ready to start writing the proposal. The first thing that you want to do is write down those client needs. So summarize what you learned about the event and what the client is looking for. This is a great first part to put any suggestions that you might have. If they haven't booked a venue yet, if you include 1 or 2 photos of venues that you think would work for them with a little bit of information, this is the place to do it. But make sure you don't overwhelm them. Just a few suggestions in the first section. The second section is going to be summarizing your personal experience as an event planner. So talk about past events that you've done, especially if you have any ones that relate to the client's event that you're working on the proposal for. You can talk about any type of references that you might have, any kind of formal training or online courses you've taken or certificates you've had. This is where this goes. If you've been in the business for a long time, make sure to note how many years you've been in the business and maybe anybody else that you've worked with that's relevant. And next we're going to move on to services offered. So this is really important because a lot of clients are going to come with you and they're not really sure what event planning entails. They don't really understand the breadth and how much work goes into it. This is where you can really break it down and show them each individual component of their event and how much work you're actually going to be doing. So everything from consulting, how much can they actually call you? Are you available 24/7 for consulting leading up to their event? To the creative work, what kind of creative things are you going to bring to the table? Are you really good at making centerpieces, or is there some other creative aspect that really speaks to you that you can tell your clients about? Down to the vendor booking. Now this can be a really hard one because it's hard to find vendors to negotiate, to work out all the logistics, to schedule them day of. So make sure you hit upon this under services offered. Scheduling, you're going to be taking care of the schedule on the day of the event. All of the load in, the load out, you'll be helping set up. You'll be setting up everything from the tables to getting ready for the events or awards or the bride coming. There's a lot of work that goes into the timeline of the actual day. And lastly, the breakdown, which is a huge component that a lot of clients don't think about when they're in the excitement of planning their event. So the breakdown of the event can include everything from gathering all of their personal belongings, making sure that they're safe, to actually having the loadout for all of the vendors where they come and they pick up all of the rentals. So this is really important to include in the services offered. The next section is services provided, which I would say is actually the most important thing in the whole proposal. So this is where you're going to also break down each section of the event or each portion of the event and put a price next to it. So this is where you're going to add up everything in the services provided. I'm going to put a little money sign next to it. Everything in services provided. And you're going to add it up. This is where you're going to come to the number that you're going to charge them for. So you'll have a flat fee number, say. And this is where you can break it down to show that consulting, whatever that will cost, vendor booking, whatever that will cost. Are you going to hire other planners to help work underneath you or assistants? Or are there any other services? Will you be the one doing the florals? Whatever you can provide for your services that can be monetized, that's where they go in the services provided. All of these individual things will add up to the total that you're going to ask for in the proposal. So the next thing that we move on to is budget. Now, this is something that traditionally can be in proposals, but I personally never put it into my proposals, and I'm going to tell you why. So I work with a lot of different events all over the place. I'm not necessarily always at the same type of venues working with the same vendors. So budget is a hard one for me. So budget, what it means is that you would have a section where you would tell the client what you propose that they are personally going to spend on their event as a whole. So everything from the venue to the flowers to the food to the music to whatever it entails, that would go into the budget, and you would give them a number of what you think their event is going to cost total. Why I don't include it is that there's a lot of variables to this, and I think that budgets can sometimes, or always, they can change and they can grow, or things can happen, costs can be cut. I don't include budget in my proposal because it worries me to put it along with the proposal in the chance that at the end of the event, the client says, well, the budget wasn't what we initially talked about, so there's an opportunity for the contract to not be valid. So use this one carefully. It's a great tool. It's something that you should definitely still talk to your client about, but I don't know if I would necessarily include it in the initial proposal. The next one is policy. So this is where I put things like my cancellation policy. So for an event, maybe it's 2 or 3 weeks. If they cancel within that time frame, then you're gonna keep their initial deposit. It's also where I talk about how I get paid. I like to bill, so I take 50% right when we sign the contract and the other 50% 2 weeks before the event. So I put that into my policies. You can put whatever other policies that you want into this section. And the last one is the thank you. Thank them for your time, thank them for considering you, and also include your contact information. You want your website, you want your phone number, your email, so that they can get in touch with you afterwards. Everybody that they've talked to, every event planner they might be considering is going to send them a proposal. If you have a proposal like this, nice, clean, organized, that shows that you care about their individual needs, then you're going to be setting yourself up for success. I hope that you enjoyed this video. You can find more information on eventplanning.com and make sure to like this YouTube channel.